We're going to talk with Karam. Is my screen coming
Yep.
through?
No, your screen is coming through right now. We're just on the two-person cam thing. If you want, we
Okay.
can switch to the screen when you're showing
No,
something.
we can. Yeah. Get ready in a minute. So we're going to give it a minute for other people to get on. I want to make sure this is a new streaming format we're experimenting with, and it's way beyond my head, but it's not Karam's, which is kind of the point of what we're going to talk about today is, finding people that are as smart or smarter than you and aligning with them and empowering them to help kind of grow the business. Karam and I have been working together, gosh, almost 5 years now. It's been a
Yeah,
long time.
actually, around about 4.5 years. Yeah.
4.5, yeah. So it's been it's been a minute. Karam, are we good on the stream? Because I'm testing it myself and it's just timed out.
No, it looks like we're live. We have 4 viewers.
Okay, good. All right. Sorry, guys. I'm a newbie. This is a new streaming platform, and I'm a noob, so you'll have to forgive me. Okay. So, Karam, if anything goes down, let me know.
Yep, will do.
All right, everybody. Today, kind of like I alluded to, I have Mr. Karam Aziz with me. Karam has been my right-hand man for years. He and I met on a very similar platform to what we're going to show you guys today. Karam, were you ever on Upwork as a vendor?
I was actually even on the previous version of Upwork, which was freelancer.com. It used to be
That's
freelancer.com,
right.
and then it got turned into Upwork. So I was on all of those platforms.
And do me a favor, give me a little bit of background. Why did you do that? Why did you feel the need to do
Well,
that?
starting off, I was just studying and just to get some extra money on the side. A lot of people start off that way, and then some of them just go into like full-time professional freelancers, and some of them just don't. They just go into other professions. But most people just start off just trying to make some extra money on the side. They have some skills that they can offer, and so that's how they start off, and that's how I started off as well.
So, where are you from?
I'm from Pakistan.
So you and I are doing this. I'm in Sanford,
Yeah.
Florida, and you're in
Yep.
Pakistan. And you and I, on a normal day, will interact at least daily,
Yeah.
right? Sometimes it goes a little bit darker, but you and I use Skype to communicate, right?
Yeah.
And we also use Trello to kind of manage some projects. And we're not gonna get into too much of that, but I want you guys to understand. And Karam, here's one of the things I hear from everybody, and then we'll get into Upwork and how you go about this. I hear from people all the time that they're so scared to give any measure of control or responsibility to someone that that's not right next to them, right? That they can't reach out and touch, and they're worried like, oh, they're gonna go crash my website, or like, let me tell you guys, if Karam wanted to crash me, he could crash everything I got. Right? I don't know what to tell you. Karam's got every damn password I have. If I forget one, I'm usually asking Karam what the password is. And Karam, how can people like get past it? Like, you and I never had a problem. I mean, you and I had a mutual respect pretty quick, but what do you say to people that that they don't feel comfortable with?
Well, I mean, the only thing that I'd say is try and give people some more responsibility, and a lot of the times they will surprise you, because a lot of people, they want to take responsibility. They want to be, they want to impress you. They want to work with you in the future. So they will try their best most of the time, like 99% of the time. There's sometimes that something might happen, but it's like once in a while a plane crashes. That doesn't mean that you stop traveling on airplanes. Yeah.
Excellent point. That was actually a great analogy, and I mean, look, we've had Karam actually, by the way, has hired VAs for me. We've had to fire people. We still have issues to this day with others that are on our team, and Karam's the main guy on our team, but Karam also kind of helps oversee some other members. And Karam, you're absolutely right. Try it. and give the person a
Yep.
chance. And if it doesn't work, then shake hands and move, virtually shake hands and move
Yep.
on to a different scenario. But to not try is pretty crazy,
Hmm.
for sure. So, Karam, real quick, before we get into Upwork, what kind of people are out there? Like, what's your educational background for anyone that doesn't know you?
So my educational background, I'm an electronics engineer. I recently completed my master's, but I also studied a bunch of things other than electronics. I studied a bunch of web design and a bunch of WordPress and a bunch of other stuff. That's the stuff that actually got me started doing VA. But that's basically my educational background. And so, most people are similar in that their main educational background is somewhat different, but they have some of these skills that may be useful to other people, like web design or graphic design, or sometimes there's also professionals. There's people who are professional graphic designers, professional web developers who've studied for it. But a lot of the times it's like you have a main profession and then you have a skill set that you can offer to other people.
Yeah. So, and Karam, how old are you now?
25.
So, old man, and this man has a master's degree, and one of the and Karam and I are going to work on even working to improve his situation, even where he is now, and maybe even make a very significant move to even a different country so he can better his situation. He's one of the good ones that really wants to improve his life and let the world reward him appropriately for what he's really worth. And to me, he's definitely priceless. So that being said, I say that not to kiss his butt, but I say that to tell you that there are people out there that you can trust that are capable of doing the job, and in many instances are capable of doing the job even better than
Yeah.
you. And look, I'm everything Karam knows, I know, right? I have multiple masters. I am a web designer. You know something? Every day he catches me not knowing stuff. He catches my mistakes, vice versa. What's nice is there's two of us. Actually, there's several of us, but with Karam and I, there's two of us. It's another set of eyes. And for me, from a broker level, from an agent level, for somebody to not have this in their corner is the definition of insanity in my eyes. And Karam, confirm for me. I think a lot of people feel like and one of the reasons why people don't do this is the financial aspect. It is a very costly endeavor for agents who are wondering where their income's coming from to do this, but you don't have to have somebody full time, right? You can have somebody part time. You could have somebody that's literally, I have an army of people on Skype that I can just hit and say, hey, you available next week? I need you to do some bookkeeping. I need you to do this. I need you to do that. And they could just work for you for a week or two or once a month, for bookkeeping, for audit day. Like, it doesn't mean that it has to be a full-time thing, right,
Yeah.
Karam?
So a lot of people do freelancing alongside their main jobs. A lot of people who do full-time freelancing don't work for like a specific only one person. Like they won't work only with you. They will hedge their work so that if they have a week of work with you, they will have a week of work planned with someone else, and so they will work like that. So you don't have to have anyone like on full-time payroll. You can just get their services when you need them.
And it's one of the things I want you guys to listen. So from an hourly rate perspective, that's how it's cost effective for you is you find somebody that is potentially doing work for other people as long as they can keep up with the schedule and the responsiveness. And even that you need to be a little bit patient with. But if they can do that, it's worth its weight in gold. Okay, so educational backgrounds, you can find it. You can search and isolate when you're on Upwork.
Mhm.
Okay. Karam, do me a favor. Please be monitoring if anyone's in the chat at all, asking any
Yep, I
questions.
have that open in front
And
of me. It doesn't look like anyone's asked anything yet, but we do have
all
six
right,
people watching, so that's pretty good.
if anybody has any questions, don't
Hmm.
hesitate to say something and ask. Okay. All right. Let's turn on Upwork. Let's take a look at the platform. So It's upwork.com, upwork.com. This is something that you need to bookmark, and you should be turning to it all the time. And what I will tell you is, if you've got some projects that you've been sitting on, let's say you've got, one of the big ones is data research. You have a list of names, but you don't have their phone numbers, their email. Well, cool. Go get somebody like that. Let's say you haven't kept up with your finances. You need some bookkeeping help. Cool. Go hire somebody for a one-off job and get comfortable with this system. Okay. So you got my screen?
Nope. Can you just reshare it? I don't have your screen. It looks like.
How about now?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So this is Upwork. Pretty straightforward setup. Here's just a couple. Web, mobile software development, and yeah, full software development. Karam and I were about to pull the trigger on a all-encompassing CRM solution. They have everything from writing, data science analytics, admin stuff, bookkeepers, you name it. And check out the volume. Here's just a couple other things. So these are just a couple of generics. Look at that, engineering and architecture, right? Customer service, like a lot of customer service components of online systems. Let's say with hotels or people booking online. That's all outsourced. All of it. Yep. Okay. All of it. Design and creative. That's a huge. Like Karam's a web developer, graphic just so many things. And you can see some of the big companies that work with them, Microsoft, Airbnb, GE. You get the point. Okay. And as you're on the screen, the project can be as complex or short term, or not complex as you want it to be. This is about buying your time back. And that's the thing. You guys got to get past the proverbial expense of it. Okay. So one of the things that you do, and I'm going to show you how you're going to go in, how you're going to post a job, and then I'm going to show you a job that I just posted, and how I'm going to sort through, qualify, and eventually hire people. Now, one thing I'll tell you is, and we're going to show you this, is Upwork has an all-encompassing solution, meaning you can manage, supervise everything, pay the whole bit, somebody on Upwork. Now, the problem with that is they take a little bit of money, so that means you pay your person less. Well, and it's also a really good tool if you don't know the person well enough and you can't trust them. So some of the cool things that this does is this will screen share the person's computer, screenshot. They have to clock in and out so you see when they're working for you. You can even program it to record keystrokes. I trust Karam. I don't need that. I understand too, like Karam's had some issues lately, like with power outages. Like, I don't care because I know that I trust him. He's going to make it up. He's going to deal with it. So I don't worry about that. But in the beginning, and you want control and you want to feel good about it, you have these tools at your disposal. So let's log into my account here in Upwork. Let's take a look at kind of what the back end of this looks like, okay? And all you got to do is create an account. It's pretty straightforward stuff. Come on, laggy internet. Okay, so this is the back side of your Upwork system, okay? So as you can see, it's really pretty straightforward. Post a job, right? You can just go in and post a job. So check this out. I posted, so the last bookkeeper I had didn't do the job I needed them to do, and they were working for too many other people, and it would take them too long to respond back to me. So 2 days ago, I posted a job for another bookkeeper. And what they basically do is they go take, I've got more accounts than you know what to do with. They go in and do the data entry, they check categorization to make sure everything matches. And I have a training video that I did as a screen recording. And I do that a lot with Karam, and Karam actually does screen recordings for the VAs that are kind of under him. And it's a great way for when you hire someone new, you can just say, look, check out this video. Here's what I need you to do. And then let me know how long it'll take you to do it. So look, I posted an hourly rate job for a bookkeeper. I have 51 proposals and 7 have messaged me. And I'll probably be hiring someone by the end of the day today. Okay? So let me show you first, though, how you actually post a job. So we're going to click on Post a Job. And we're going to come in here, and it's just like this. What do you want to do? I want to create short-term or part-time or dedicated long-term. In this instance, it's short-term. Okay, so it's pretty straightforward. I'm going to create a short-term job. And I apologize. My system is a little laggy here. And then job title, right? Data entry / research. Okay, that would be your title. And then as soon as you type in the title, it'll automatically connect you to one of their categories. It's pretty cool. All right, or you can come in here and see the options and select it, hit next. And then it's pretty easy. So now from here, you type in your description, right? Like enter all names provided in spreadsheet into a new spreadsheet after they've been researched using a provided research tool. Meaning, I've got a database of 200 people, and I want their names, emails, phone numbers, Facebook, their birthdays, all that stuff, but I don't have the time to sit here and sit still on that task because my personality type, like that's one of the things about VAs, right, Karam? Like, it takes a different personality type, right? Like, Karam is he's an electrical engineer, right? Like, he's at his best. He's a coder, right? He's totally cool with sitting in front of his computer and crushing it for hours on end. That's one of his skills, okay? Not everyone's like that. I love doing it too. I got an awesome setup behind me. I love sitting here and crushing it, but you know what? Not everyone's like that. So if you're watching this and you know you just can't sit still long enough, that's one of the great things about this. So if you have an incomplete database, if they're not researched, let me tell you something. Get on it, get that done. By the way, tip for you realtors, listen to me. You should be farming your neighborhood. So all you do is you go into the county tax rolls, export all the homeowners in your neighborhood out, send that to hire a VA. You're going to need a data research tool. Like I've got Been Verified, I have Intellius. So you're going to give, and you're probably going to want to lean more towards Intellius for a VA, right? Karama will have IP detection issues because, like for instance, with Been Verified, they don't like it when people other than you use their tool. And Karam, what's the name of the tool, by the way, that we use?
I believe we use Intellius.
Yeah, we do use Intellius, but I'm talking about masking IPs. What are some tools?
Yeah, so there's like 2 major ways that you could do it. You could use a VPN. Like you could have, like we use Viper VPN, which is probably one of the best VPNs available in the market. But you could use a VPN, or if you have an old laptop, you could also set up a remote access laptop or a remote access computer. But both of those ways work pretty well.
So this is the tool. Do you see my screen, Karam? So this is the tool he's referring to. If you're going to get serious into this, like, let me tell you something. Karam's in my MLS. Karam's everywhere. He's got access to everything. And this is how, if you're going to get to a point where you're that involved with a VA, they're going to need to be able to mask their location because a lot of the tools that they're going to need and be able to clone and be you, they're going to need to hide their IP. Okay, so for those of you watching, if you wind up getting a VA that is going to do everything for you, you're going to need a tool like this. And here's my suggestion. Get a VA that's got a technical background that knows what to do. I didn't tell Karam anything. He set all this up, bang, bang, done. I paid for it, easy. Like, you don't even worry about it. But you need to know that this tool exists and why. And you won't need it unless you have somebody like a Karam that you give full control to. Okay, so back in here in Upwork, you post the description. If you have any project files like instructions or anything like that, you drag and drop, you hit next. And I mean, this is really pretty simple. Now, I'll tell you, all of this is about marketing too. Like if you say it's a one-time project when it could be an ongoing project, you may want to select ongoing project and then tell everybody before you hire them that, hey, listen, this will be an ongoing thing as long as you do the right thing. If you don't, it's going to be a one-time deal. So be careful as to how you identify this. So get this, you can ask questions, okay? Like for instance, and you can add categories. One of the things like I like to make sure I figure out is, are they fluent, right? Are they fluent in English? That's a big deal to me, right? You can ask questions related to their education. You can create, these are some auto defaulted ones, right? Why do you think you're a good fit? Can you work from 9 to 5? Or let's say, like for instance, Karam. Like Karam, what time is it over by you right now?
Right now it's 11:30 p.m.
So a little bit of a
Hmm.
time difference. So that was one of the things. So I would say, can you work 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., you know, Eastern Standard
Hmm.
Time? Okay. And that'll allow you to make sure that you don't waste time talking to people that aren't willing to do that. Any good VA is going to understand that's necessary. I got news for you. When I was 25, I worked freaking overnight shift. I mean, it's just the way it is. Like, so don't worry about that. If they're a hard worker and they're willing to do it, then that's who you want. Don't be afraid to ask for that. Require a cover letter or not? I do, and here's why I would. You're going to get a sense for the level of fluency by how they write. Most won't be smart enough to use a translation tool. If they do, that'll be a little wonky. And that is a big indicator for me as to their fluency. So I like to see how they write. That's a big deal to me. Okay? Let me see. I'm just going to finish this job, one-time project. Hit next. And here are some other key points you can come in. What are the different skills? Are you going to be working with a CRM? Yeah. Data entry, databases. Yep. You can come in here and say, hey, look, I need you good with Excel, Google Docs, right? You're going to be doing some admin support. You're going to be touching some lead gen stuff for me, WordPress, Photoshop. Like, look at all the different, and you can add in whatever skill you want. You don't see a skill, you can come in here and literally, type in graphic design, and all of the options will pop up. So it's pretty limitless. Now, here's what I'll tell you. Here's where things get a little bit deep. Entry level, intermediate, and expert. I would classify Karam at the high end of the spectrum. You probably don't want to necessarily go that route right out of the gate. You want to learn the process, you want to learn the person. So I would go for entry level or intermediate. It's also going to impact the price point of the person you're going to get. So I'm gonna select next. And I would very much, you're killing yourself if you do US only. Might as well hire someone to come sit in the office next to you. Okay? Karam has, for almost 5 years now, proven to me that he's a man of ethics and integrity and hard work. I trust him implicitly. If I had not opened myself up to anywhere in the world, I wouldn't have the benefit of the relationship and partnership I have with him now. So open things up. Okay? Hit next. Okay, pretty simple. I do anybody because I'm going to vet them. So you can choose to do only Upwork. How many people do you need? This is going to be a one-off job for me. You can come in here and do talent preferences. Okay, this is a big one. So for instance, English. Like you hear Karam. Karam sounds like he lives in the neighborhood right next door to me. Right? He's extremely proficient in his writing and his language. Sounds fantastic. I like this one, Karam, and I want to hear your input on this. I like knowing how much money they've earned. I like knowing that they've got a little bit of a track record. So for me, I like to go with $1,000 and up. You do whatever you want, but I like this because it shows work history. And that's one of the hard things. You need some work history, right, Karam?
Yeah, it can be a good thing and a bad thing at the same time. I guess it's a good thing in that you get a person who has some work history at least. But it can be also be kind of a bad thing in that you may be leaving out some people who are just getting started who may actually have a lot of the good skills that you need. So it can be a good thing. I would recommend that you leave it at 100K plus if you're just hiring your first VA, and you don't really know how to vet them and how to how to work with people. I'd recommend that you go with
I would agree with that.
someone with more experience.
I would agree. Yeah, I would agree with
Hmm.
that sentiment. And conversely, to your point, what do you think? What comes to mind, Karam, if you see someone that's earned 10,000 or more? Like for me, it says that that's probably not an individual. It's probably an entity. It's probably a
Yep,
corporation.
exactly. So there are also teams or corporations on Upwork, and those are usually the ones that have 10K or more.
Yeah, so be careful. I don't want to hire anyone that's a person that's actually a company, because then what happens is, like, Karam and I actually have a friendship. Okay, we've been friends for years. Like, I want to be connected to my team, no different than those of you watching that I'm friends with. Like, you're going to lose all connection if you choose a company or someone that is a company that you're not paying attention, because you're going to have someone different touching your file every day. They're not going to know how you work. Karam knows how I talk. Karam knows how I write. Like Karam can check my email for me. Like Karam can do everything, and you wouldn't know. Like I'll be honest with you guys. Like there's probably times out there that you've heard from me and it wasn't me. It was Karam. So like that's the key here. Make sure you're picking someone that's one person dedicated to you. And I agree completely with what Karam said. If it's your first, $100 and up without a doubt. $100 without a doubt. So I'm not too worried about doing a group. And this is where you go, all right, fixed price or pay by the hour. Now you're going to need to make a decision. I do an hourly range, and this is where you can come in and say, I'll do, 3 to 5, and it will depend upon the caliber of the person. Do you impress me? Do you hustle? You may start them at 3 and end them at 5. I mean, there's a lot of things. Okay, less than a month, maybe. I don't know yet, maybe, or less than 30 hours. You'll see the better you advertise your job, the more people you will get. But be truthful, right? Don't tell them this is a full-time job and you're going to end the relationship in a week. Don't do that, because you will get a poor rating on Upwork, and then nobody will want to touch you, just like that happens to them. So right now, if I went in and posted a job, I would have VAs contacting me within a minute, 2, 3. Like, it's that fast. So do me a favor, up to this point, type in the chat. If you've got any questions, I'd love to hear them up to this point. Like, you saw what it looks like on Upwork to post a job. Now I'm going to show you what it looks like to hire, screen, and then I'll show you some of the management tools that you have at your disposal. Karam, am I missing anything on that
Nope,
one?
looks like you've touched on pretty much everything as far as posting the job is concerned. Doesn't look like there's any questions in
Yep.
the chat either, so I guess we can move on.
Okay, good. So here's a job I just posted. I posted it late at night, a couple nights ago, 2 nights ago. And I want somebody to do some special bookkeeping work for me. And apologize for my lagginess. By the way, once you've posted your job, and I did want to post it and delete it, but you also have the ability to directly invite talent, to your job. That'll pop up once you fully submit your job. It'll actually automatically, the next screen will say, congratulations, your job is posted. Here are people that match the criteria that you can just go ahead and invite. And I definitely would recommend doing it. I think you get like 12, 13, 14, something like that. Look at all the VAs popping up talking to me right now. Ooh, this guy's got 3 messages. Hi, how are you? I am fine. Mr. Ankit, very good. So, and here's how you invite other freelancers, just like what I was talking about. So if I wanted to invite Ma Delia, this is what would happen when you say post job, and I just say invite to job. Now she's been invited to my job. Okay, so let's actually go take a look at my job, and let's go look at the talent that has applied and how I go through, and I'm just literally, I have to go through and cut down this 50 down to a manageable number. So I'm going to show you how I do it. And this is a real job post. It's going to be somebody I really hire. So we're going to get into a short-term bookkeeper here, and this can become a long-term bookkeeper. So I'm a big proponent of that. Making sure your finance is squared away. And listen, if you don't like doing it, hire somebody. Let's say you don't like looking at it because you're just scared, hire somebody. Let's say you don't like numbers, fine, hire somebody. But it must be done. Like, you got to do it. All right, I apologize. I'm having a just terrible, terrible day today with my laggy internet. So you see right here, I clicked on review proposals. So I click on review proposals. I have 9 invites left. You get about 15 invites that you can hand pick people to invite. Okay, and it's going to populate all my proposals, and there's a lot of them. There's 51 proposals. It's a lot, and you need to be very stingy. All right, so here's what I do. First, you'll see the best matches come up. Okay, first one, 70,000 earn 15 an hour. Nope, not happening. That's a company, 100%. You earn 70 grand, there's just no way. $15 an hour, too much money for me. I'm not doing it. So they got the thumbs down, they're gone. There you go. Okay, and just go down the list. All right, so Sahil, 91% job success rate, that's good. Cover letter, this looks like an awesome fit for me. Guys, very Americanized statement. Awesome, like this, that means this guy has really worked a lot with people, right? Who says awesome? That's, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's something that they've been exposed to. So that tells me it's got a solid 9 years in bookkeeping and taxation. I like that he said awesome. He's earned 9,000. That's almost too much money. And he's one I would message and say, hey, Sahil, if I hire you, is it you or is it someone else? So I'm going to go ahead and thumbs up him. I'm going to keep him, but I'm going to circle back to him later. 100% job rate, 30K. This looks like, I don't know, this looks a little shady to me. This looks like a bit much. I know he's a best match, but there's probably a reason for that. And he's also reached out to me multiple times. I may message him. That's this. I think that's him. Yep. So you know what I'll do? Oh, did he disappear? I'm going to message him and ask him directly if it's him. So 20 bucks an hour, no. I'm not paying 20 bucks an hour. So here's Ankit, the guy that that I DQ'd. I will message him, and I'm going to show you they have a version of Skype on Upwork. Karam, have you used this communication tool on
No,
Upwork?
I haven't actually. Because I haven't been on Upwork lately. Like I said, I used to be on Upwork a long time ago.
So it's not bad. It's not as reliable. And here's one of the things. When you start messaging people, so here's his profile, his work history. He's done 55 jobs, 14,000 hours, almost too good to be true. Graduate of Delhi University. I mean, this looks good. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to shortlist him. I'll shortlist him. We'll see. And then I'll message him. Okay, and you've got a lot of options for how you can communicate with them. You can actually, and unfortunately my screen is just, as you can see, it's glitching to all get out. But there's a way, they'll do attachments and what have you. And unfortunately you can't see it on my screen. I apologize greatly. But there's usually a button right here where you can click on and actually call them right there. So it'll actually ring their phone. And you see he's not online right now because his screen is orange. So he's not online right now. So I'm just going to keep doing the same thing. Okay? Abdul, $5. Okay, we'll see. QuickBooks bookkeeping, 20K. Dear client, thank you for looking at my profile. That's templated. I'm already a no, right? You can't be awesome to me. Um, I'm looking at little clues, right? And I'm very particular. Look at this. Jinsey, hi, James. Thank you for the interview invite. I have expert local. Cool. I like that. 650 an hour, not bad for a bookkeeper, 30,000 earned. I'll positive it, and then I'm going to message her and make sure it's just her that I would be hiring, right? And you just load more and you do this process until you narrow down 4 or 5 people, okay? I really recommend get 4 or 5. Then you must do a face-to-face interview. I want to see them. I want to see how they're dressed. Do they look like they just woke up? Are they articulate? Are they intelligent? You know what I mean? Like, I need to know these things, okay? It's a really big deal, okay? So I would make sure that I would do that. And you got to be careful when you message them. If you like type the word Skype in there or anything like that, the system will flag you. So you got to kind of be careful, like, hey, what's a good way to talk? And they'll let you know. And me, I always typically talk off the platform if I can, but you don't need to. Everything can be done in here, okay? Then when you hire somebody, okay, when you hire somebody, you're going to confirm a few things. And you've got to make an offer, and that's kind of the section I'm in right now. Okay, and there's some controls you can do. Okay, you can allow them to log time manually. I can set a limit, which is to make sure that they can't exceed it. And until someone earns your trust, you're going to need to do that. You're going to need to do that. Okay, you can click in here into advanced options, start date, weekly payment, all really awesome stuff. Okay, here's the description. You can attach files. You hit yes, you understand, and then you hit hire. An email is then going to go to the Sahil in this instance, and as soon as he hits yes, now he's going to be in your profile. Okay, and then once they're in the profile, that's when you can start the job and start managing it. Okay, let me see. Karam, anything I'm missing in regards to vetting and questions and things like that?
Nope, that's pretty much it. I guess I would add that it doesn't actually stop you from going off the platform. It's just a warning.
Yeah.
If you try and ask them for like Skype or whatever, it's just a warning that pops up warning you not to talk to people off platform, which is just like a security thing. But it doesn't really matter. It's probably better to just talk off platform.
I like talking off platform,
Hmm.
and eventually I'm going to hire them away from the platform. I hate to say it, but I am,
Yeah.
because I don't want I want to give them as much money as I can. I don't want them restricted. So I mean that's a big deal to me. Let's see if I can drill into an old job post here. And look, this one was created by Karam a year ago. This VA unfortunately didn't work out. And oddly enough, as soon as I posted this new job online, he hit me up on Skype and said, "Hey, I see you're back needing a bookkeeper. Can I get another shot?" And I'm like, no. By the way, Karam, correct me if I'm wrong. I would only communicate on Skype. That's my favorite platform. It's the most reliable in my opinion. Karam, any thoughts on that? Like, what about WhatsApp or anything? Like, what do you think?
I mean, it honestly doesn't matter too much because most platforms are nowadays pretty good. Skype is the best as far as video conferencing goes. So if you want to actually see the person, actually like talk to them face to face, then Skype is absolutely the best platform. But there's other platforms as well. Like a lot of people prefer talking over WhatsApp or just over a phone call. So it doesn't really matter too much. But I would recommend that you do use Skype and just talk face to face with the person, because that adds a lot of context to like their personality, their professionalism. It just gives you more of a picture of who they are.
Yeah, I agree. I'm exclusively on Skype. Half the time I'm talking to Karam, I'm in my car driving, and because I'm crazy busy and I need to be able to communicate something to him, and I don't want to do it in an email. I'll hit him on Skype, and he'll hit me on Skype. And the nice thing is too, if I need Karam online at a certain time, and I need to see that he's online, Skype will tell you. Skype will tell you, hey, yeah, Karam is green, he's available. Now he's got to be at his computer, clearly, but what's nice is if he steps away, it's just like a phone. It's like, oh, missed call, and then he'll call me right back. So it's a really awesome thing. Here's an actual application from somebody that I actually hired. See where it says chat with Raja? Unfortunately, because it's glitching and taking so long, it's not showing me the button. There's a little green button there with a phone on it. You click on it, and it'll start calling him. But you see how he's gray? He's not online. Okay, you're going to need to see him as green in order for him to be online. Now, let me see if I can show. I want to try to show. All right, unfortunately, I think it has to be an active job in order for me to show it. But one of the things you can do is in here, you can actually, I don't think I'm going to be able to see any different stuff. I don't think it's going to be in his contract. But I can control when they clock in. I can control whether or not the system actually screenshots their stuff. It'll produce a time card for you. You don't need any solution other than Upwork. If they say they work for you for 40 hours, you can go in and see, where were you? And it'll do everything you tell it to do. You can program it to a pretty decent extent. Now, if you wind up taking people off platform, just Google virtual assistant tracking, things of that nature. So check this out. This is how you do exactly what I just said. So I can go into the work diary, and I can see with a date range, like let's say I do, I don't know, it'd be difficult to do and show you on this example because he's not been with us for a while. But let's say since September 1st, let's see if it updates in a relatively quick time frame. Come on. So you choose on a calendar the date range, and it'll tell you, yep, they were online for 40 hours. Here are all the screenshots. Here you go. There it goes. So it'll show you how long they were online, how long they were working. So right here, look, here's all the screenshots of this person working in the spreadsheet. How freaking awesome is that? You don't get no better than that. Okay? So everything can be done in here. You can have a diary. It shows you the hours worked. Here's all their timesheets. Here's a screenshot, by the way, in the diary. So that's my QuickBooks. That's him working in my QuickBooks. And yes, I give him access to my QuickBooks. Okay? No, he doesn't have access to my bank account, but yeah, absolutely. So, and here's all the timesheets, invoices, everything. And it's all done electronically, and it's all amazing. I don't know what else to tell you guys about hiring talent, but man, your business would double if you had a Karam. You had a Karam and a couple others. Game changer. And you got to be willing to go through a couple people before you find a Karam, because it's not. I haven't done it all perfectly with Karam. It's been a lot of ups and downs on my part, not his. He's been nothing but reliable, and I've had to learn and figure it out. And through this time, I've done nothing but develop a sincere appreciation. And he's now an invaluable team member. And even at the risk of, he told me recently he's potentially looking to move out of his country into a better situation. And I'm gonna help him. I'm gonna do whatever I got to do to help him, knowing that'll probably be the last time he and I ever talk. But that's how important he's been to me, that I'm willing to help him, and even though I'm probably going to lose him, just because I'm that indebted. And that I can't express to you enough. Like, if you don't have that in your life, in your business right now, you're missing the boat. I don't care if you're a day one agent. Okay, Karam's full time for me as well as others. You don't have to have that. right? You could have 10 hours a week, 10 hours a month, job by job. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to tell you guys other than say you got to take that leap, right? You got to have faith. You got to have trust. Um, hire fast, fire faster. You know what I mean? If you detect something unethical or they lied, and let's say you're, like Karam, I don't track anything he does. I could care less. He's that valuable to me. But until they've earned that respect, and you track them and they tell you something different, terminate the relationship and go find someone else. There's plenty of hungry people out there. Any questions for us, Karam?
Nope. Doesn't look like there's any questions. There were a couple of technical issues earlier, so that's what people were talking about in chat, but they seem to be fixed now.
Okay, so here's my big thing. One, whatever task you're going to do a screen recording. Okay? You can do it on Zoom. Karam, do you know of any free screen recording tools for PC?
I mean, you can use OBS for screen recording. That's pretty simple.
That's a little complex.
I guess it's a bit more. I guess it's not that simple, but
Zoom is an easy one that I know because it's free and it's super simple. I have Camtasia. Karam has Camtasia. Karam, what do you use to do screen recordings?
Right now I just use Camtasia, but I've used OBS in the past as well. I think Camtasia has a free version. I'm not sure. Maybe it does.
Filmora, for those of you that have Filmora, the video editing tool, it has the ability. If you're on an Apple like me, if you're smart and you have an Apple like me, just kidding, that's a PC behind me, not hating. But if you do have an Apple and you have QuickTime, then it's a free recorder that's available there. And do a screen recording. Okay, it's the best way to do it. And you say, all right, Karam, here's what I need you to do, my man. I need you to do step one. Here's where it looks like. You log in. By the way, I use Google Docs a lot, and I'll put in the login ID and passwords and the instructions, right? And Karam will chat with me, and he can put comments in there, which is great. And we see how that job is progressing. And then we'll also use Trello, which is a free project management tool. And what I will tell you, one thing I've learned, and Karam, correct me if I'm wrong, you got to keep them busy.
Yeah.
And that's a really hard thing to make sure you make the time for, because you don't want them losing interest. And I've definitely run into that problem many times. You got to keep them busy. But then you also have to make sure you don't short circuit them by overloading them and dropping 50 jobs on them and then not communicating, hey, listen, there's no timelines on these, but there are timelines on these. Trello is a pretty easy tool, right?
Trello is pretty easy. I think you hit the nail on the head there. You just have to make sure that they know the timelines and make sure that they know the priorities of what you need done. And because that's the most important thing when you're actually taking a look at the tasks that you have in hand. Even if you have like 50 things, if you know that this one thing is the most important, you're gonna devote your full energy into that one until that's completed, and then you can move down the stack.
So here's what I'll tell you. I get the most out of my partnership with Karam when I talk to him every day. When I don't, it's very difficult for him because, and we're dealing with it now, he's doing some video editing stuff for me, and it's so difficult to convey your thoughts exactly how you want to, and then what happens is you're going back and forth in typewritten fashion, and things can be misinterpreted and misunderstood, and next thing you know, a job is delayed 3 or 4 days when it could have been done sooner if you'd have just picked up the phone, got on Skype. Like I was supposed to talk to him about a project before this, and I was running late and I couldn't. So now I'm going to have to jump on a call with him right after this because I don't want to waste a lot of time going back and forth. I want to just look him straight in the face and kind of go through the tasks and then just tell him how I'm thinking and I'm feeling, because I also, it's not just a shortcut, but I want him to know mentally where I'm coming from so that he knows, because especially if you're like rushing, you can be short with people, and I don't want him misinterpreting my language and thinking I'm upset or anything. So communicate, use Skype, talk every day at minimum. I like seeing each other. It's just a nice thing. And Karam, let's wrap up by telling me from your end, how weird is it working remotely for somebody? I mean, it's got to be unique, right? Like,
Yeah.
take some
I
discipline.
mean, it takes some discipline. It takes some different things, some different skills. I suppose like you have to kind of separate your work and your home life because I'm working from home. Most freelancers work from home, and you know, a lot of people are figuring this out now in 2020. When people are working from home, like how hard it actually is to work from home, how hard it actually
It
is to
is.
separate your work and your home life. So that's the major
Yeah.
thing that you have to do.
Yeah, I agree, and that's why it's so important that you really get a good feel for the person. I talked to his mom just last week, so it's like it's good to have that relationship. So listen, we're talking about a human being that can help you level up your business. Odds are they'll be much better and faster than you are, and they'll be insanely more focused than you. I have my focus pulled at me all day long, and Karam is my focus. He keeps me focused, but when I can't be, he takes over for me. I can't express to you enough. Number one thing you can do for your business right now is to leverage other people. That's it. It's not you get better. It's not you. Like, here's the reality: 9 out of 10 agents fail out of this business in 3 to 5 years. Why? Because they are not consistent. So if you know you're not consistent, get somebody that is. Partner, leverage, take care of them, and they'll take care of you. All right. I know that was short and long at the same time, but I didn't want to get too deep in the weeds. Get in there and hire somebody, right? Get in there and hire somebody. You should be able to find, depending upon the task, somebody for a relatively cost-effective um, type of situation that's beneficial to both. Get them outside of the Upwork platform when you can, so you can pay them even more. Do bonuses. Let them know how much they matter, and maybe you will have somebody that you value as much as I do, Karam. So, all right, Karam, thank you for hosting for me,
No
my man.
problem.
I appreciate it. We're going to try to do more of these live co-hosted things that are more technical in
Hmm.
nature. Next week we're going to do some more stuff on Facebook, and we'll have Karam back to jump in on this. But listen, start today. If you don't have a database researched, go do it. If you don't have your neighborhoods researched, go do it. Hire someone to do it. If you need a graphic designer, go do it. Fiverr is another good alternative, but listen, I'd rather have somebody see how they work and have them potentially work for me full time. So Upwork is my number one place. It could be a short-term job or forever. It just depends. All right, Karam, I'm out of here. I'm going to call you in like 2 minutes because I got to go jump in my truck and run to a meeting. I'm going to call you on Skype to discuss the video editing stuff, and we'll go from there. Anything else, Karam? You
Nope, that
good?
sounds good.
All right, guys. I hope you guys got something out of this. Go leverage it. See if you can find yourself as somebody as amazing as Karam and watch it change your business. See you guys.